Hi everybody, I just wanted to pop on and say a quick hello to everyone. I hope you're all keeping safe and well at this very unsettling time. And what I wanted to do today was to run through some pieces and ways in which we can effectively manage our mental health during the COVID-19 outbreak. Without question, this outbreak has had a significant impact upon our daily lives. And as we're all adjusting to this, what we call the new normal, obviously it's a very difficult time to navigate, and people are very unsure of how to respond to it. We've never actually been through anything like it before. So it's very difficult for people to kind of get to grips with what it means and what the long-term implications are going to be. So at the moment, there is that difficult, we don't know where there is the light at the end of the tunnel. We don't know how long we're going to be in lockdown for, and if there's going to be further restrictions placed upon us. So that can create and draw up all kinds of feelings, a lot of worry, a lot of anxiety at this time. So I thought it would be helpful to pop on and just give an overview on some little tips, if you like, as to how we could effectively manage our mental health during this time. As you already know, I'm a big advocate for mental health for everybody. I've done a lot of work around men's mental health, around suicide awareness, prevention and stuff. But I've also done quite a lot about workplace mental health and well-being, and that's the angle that I want to try and draw from today. So one of the first things that I'd recommend for people to do is to connect with others. It's very difficult. You can't meet your friends, you can't meet your family. I'm separated from my mum at the moment, who I'm very close to, and I miss her dearly. But we have to remember what the end game is here, and ultimately we need to be doing our bit by staying apart so that we can get back together much sooner. So the way that we can maintain those relationships, obviously there's the telephone. We can always give them a call. I'm calling my nan twice a week at the moment. It's driving her bonkers. She says that she has enough stuff, but that little check-in means a lot to her. So it could also mean a lot to your friends and family and your relatives as well. So do pick up the phone and do speak to people. Obviously, there's social media channels. So if you wanted to Facebook message people, or if you wanted to WhatsApp someone or video call them, go ahead and do it. You know, having that interaction is really important to maintaining those positive relationships, and it makes you feel like there's some sort of normality there. You could help and support others. That's another option that you have. So think about how you could help people that are around you. I've been checking in on my elderly neighbours quite regularly, obviously keeping within the guidelines, but I have been checking in with my neighbours just to make sure that they aren't exposed unnecessarily by going to the shops. So when I've been going, then I've been able to pick up a few bits and pieces for them. In return, that obviously makes you feel good because you're helping others, and naturally, you know, we are human beings. We have that feeling of empathy and desire to help others. So that's one way that we can produce a wave of kindness throughout this very unsettling time. So reaching out and talking to people about how you're feeling. If you are suffering with anxiety or depression or a mental health illness, this part is really important. It's challenging time for everyone, as we already know, but by sharing how you're feeling and the ways that in which you're coping, perhaps, so you could be having what I call an okay day. If you're having one of those and you are aware of friends or family members that are having mental health issues also, then your coping mechanisms can also help them. So do make sure that if you are stumbling upon something that's really helping you, then I would strongly recommend that you share that with everybody, because you never know. And as we know with mental health, there is this stigma still attached to it. So underneath that, your actions might inspire other people. So by bringing that to life, and they might have resources at home. I know that my friends are doing, they're seeking therapy and colouring books and stuff. So yeah, if that helps you, or if there's other things that might help you, then go ahead and share that with people. You never know how that might inspire somebody else, and get them through what could be a particularly difficult day. Obviously, number 10 has been very generous and allowed us to go out for some daily exercise still. I have friends that live in Spain and Italy, and they're not able to go out. They're in total lockdown, so that's very difficult for them. So we're quite lucky and fortunate that we are able to get into healthy habits. I know people that have started, couch to 5K routines, and they're getting out and about, and they're feeling much better for that exercise, especially if you've been furloughed. Then it's not so easy to it's easy to fall into what I call unhealthy habits. So that could be unlimited biscuits and binging on box sets, which is fine if people want to do that, each to their own. But for some people that are particularly work driven, they're finding this time really, really difficult. So what you want to do is to combat those negative patterns of behaviour, and the way that you do that is by eating healthily, making sure you're getting enough sleep, drinking enough water, and doing some exercise. There will be days where you don't feel like going outside, and one of my favourite things to do is to do an online workout, which is on YouTube. And my favourite YouTuber is Lucy Wyndham Reed. She's a fantastic personal trainer. She has some really quick exercises, and that keeps me going throughout the day. So it might work for you too. So do make sure that you're getting your daily exercise in, or just going around the park for some fresh air if you live local to one. One other thing is to turn off the TV. I can't stress this enough. When this all started, I've been watching extensive coverage and special programs on Sky News about the pandemic, and it eats away at us. It makes us worried. Whilst they have these updates, which are necessary, we need to be up to date with those guidelines. At the same time, it can really give a negative impact, and it can kind of eat away at us. So try to limit the time that you spend watching those programs, or social media coverage, or anything to do with the pandemic. Try and get things in perspective and do things that you actually enjoy doing, to kind of break it up a little bit. There's a lot of what I call seeking the silver lining during these times. So it can seem really scary and really unsettling at first, but then people start to adjust. And there are ways in which we can do this whilst we're at home. So we can make a list of useful activities. For me, it's cleaning, reading, and exercise, which doesn't sound very rock and roll, but those are the things that I enjoy. I've also been binge watching Nashville. I'm obsessed with Nashville. I hope to visit there one day, and that's one thing you could possibly add to your list. So if you are the traveling kind and you like to explore where your next holiday is going to be, then why not sit down and do some research and develop all of the things that you'd like to do, places you'd like to visit. If you fancy a break in the UK, why not have a look around and see what's on offer? Because whilst we can't travel anywhere at the moment, this will pass, and as part of that process, we need to be prepared for how we then adjust back. So one way of being able to do that is to seek the silver lining and think of all the lovely things that you'd like to do once it's lifted. My final tip really is for setting some goals, and I do this quite regularly. Obviously, I own and run my own business now. As a freelance HR consultant, that's really important, because at the moment my job has been from a proactive stance to a very reactive stance. And like many HR professionals, we feel a bit out of our comfort zone. Whilst we're used to reacting very quickly to situations that arise every now and again, we normally have long-term strategic plans in place. So at the moment, we're all feeling a bit fish out of water. So by setting goals, we are able to achieve a sense of satisfaction, and it generates that feeling of purpose. So if you think about things that you want or need to do, that you can do whilst at home, then I'd strongly recommend those. You could do daily tasks or weekly tasks. we don't know how much longer we're going to be stuck inside for. So by setting those, then of course it can give us that sense of purpose that we need and drive to want to do more things once this is over. So after all of that, hopefully that's given you some fantastic ideas and ways in which you could have a look at managing your mental health in a positive light during this very uncertain time. If you have any ideas yourself, then feel free to pop those in the comments below for me. Whatever you share, it may inspire other people, so I can't stress that enough. At the moment, that's really, really important. So by helping and inspiring others, then we are being much more productive and we are being able to fulfill that purpose. So thank you very much for watching. It's lovely to connect with you all, and I look forward to seeing your suggestions. Take care and stay safe. We are in this together.